Hey everyone, welcome. And today's video is another recap of Love Island Season 8, Episode 8. Okay, so I am gonna be jumping from scene to scene. It may not be in any specific order, but I wanted to touch on Casey and Anaya. They had a conversation. They seemed pretty cool. The conversation was about, enjoying your time in the villa and not being so sad and down and not taking things too serious and having fun. They agreed and their connection seemed, pretty decent. They seem like they're enjoying each other's company. They seem good to me. Okay, jump into the scene where it's nighttime and Melanie and Sincere are in bed together and Soul walks past and Sincere does this funny, weird smile on his face. And Melanie's looking at him like, what? And he says, oh, nothing. That's a sign, red flag. I feel as though he likes Soul more already. He just probably too scared to say anything. Okay, so fast forward to this scene where Sincere is having a chat with some of the guys in the villa. And the point that he's making is that with Soul, she pulls him and, shows him affection. Like she shows, interest basically, which is her job, duh. But with Melanie, he had to do a lot of chasing. But did you not say in your intro video that you like to chase, which is why you run track? Like, oh my gosh. This man is sincerely confusing. Okay, so jump into the next scene where Melanie and Sincere have a sit-down chat. And basically, she is going in on him, right? Basically telling him that, well, be upfront, be honest. Don't think you could just go over there with Soul and come back whenever and think I'm still gonna be here. She said, don't do that because I'm telling you right now. And he gives her this weird look as though, the girl is doing too much. Yeah, and when he did that, it's just like, I feel as though it's another sign that I feel as though he don't like her that much. Yeah. Melanie also asks Sincere, do you want to keep exploring that, meaning the connection with Soul? He said, off the top of my head, no. And then he again says, no. And she's like, no? Like, Melanie was happy to hear that response, honestly. But the thing is, Sincere lied. So him and Melanie are talking about the kiss between him and Soul, and he's saying he doesn't know how that happened, and no, he said he shouldn't have let that happen and it won't happen again. And that's what he basically saying, it's not gonna happen again, and he doesn't wanna continue to explore Soul. However, Soul is, Melanie and Sincere is, they hug or whatever. They hug. She's kissing him. And Soul is over there looking jealous. And I'm like, girl, really? Like, you see him mad and you just come and are just like, anyhow. So right after, not too long after Melanie and Sincere get done talking, he goes right over to Soul and pulls off her chat, and they spend a long time in soul ties. He's talking to her, and guess what? They end up kissing, vibing, hugging on each other. It appears that they're bonding. After you just told Melanie you did not want to continue to explore with Soul, what are you still doing? Exploring. What did you just do? Kissed her. And it's just like, you told Melanie you wouldn't do these things, and that's what have Melanie confused. Okay, so jumping to Melanie pulling Corbin, and they go into Say Less, and they have a quick little chat, and basically he eventually asks her for a kiss, and she said, okay, I want to save it. Boy, he be asking everybody for a kiss. It's just like, talk more, have better conversations. Like, oh my gosh. But they come out of Say Less, and Melanie notices that Sincere is still in soul ties with Soul. And she's talking with Anaya, and eventually she decides, okay, I'm gonna go up there and ask him, like, what we doing. Let me tell you why I'm not mad at what Melanie was going to do, even though I disagree with what she was going to do. Now, Sincere is literally playing in Melanie's face. He's telling her one thing and doing the other. So he's talking with two mouths, right? He's telling her, I'm not gonna continue to explore with Soul. I'm not gonna kiss her again. Yet he did those exact things. He's telling Melanie, okay, basically we're gonna work through this. How? You know what I'm saying? If you're playing in the girl face, you don't really like her no more. And the reason why she went to address him is because you just tell me something different, yet you moving funny. You know what I mean? You're not being straight up. You know what? I've came to the conclusion that Sincere is manipulative. Well, he seems like your typical man, full of games, right? Anyhow, Melanie, take the signs for what they are. You gotta come to terms with who he is showing you that he is. Okay? Now, Melanie did go to wander up the steps to go to Soul Ties to address Sincere, and she was stopped in her tracks by Casey. I applaud Casey for stopping Mel from going up those steps to Sincere, because he said that she has done a lot of crazy things in this villa and he will not allow her to go like that. Thank you, Casey. I respect that. Melanie is sad once again, and I feel like she should just move on from Sincere. He is clearly playing games with her and intentionally being confusing. So yeah, leave that alone. Okay, so on to this next scene where it's nighttime in the villa and Melanie and Kenzie go for a talk. Melanie is basically just telling Kenzie, well, me and Corbin had a chat. She asks who pulled who. Of course, it appears that Kenzie is sad. I did admit that she started to catch feelings for Corbin, and my opinion is they got a little touchy-feely too quickly. Not a good idea. So they continue the conversation, and Melanie is telling Kenzie that Corbin did ask for a kiss, but she didn't give it to him. She resisted in respect for you, and also you as Kenzie, and then also Sincere. So Kenzie definitely communicates that she does feel a way, and if it was her exploring Sincere, Melanie would feel a way. I guess ultimately they come to some type of, common ground, and they hug. Okay, so on to Trinity and Bryce. Now this couple is very confusing. So they don't know if the other likes them for real or whatever. So Trinity doesn't know if Bryce really likes her, and then Bryce don't really know if Trinity likes him for real or whatever the case is. And they tell the rest of the crew this, but when they in each other face, they saying, oh, I like you a lot, and I like you, and I enjoy our time together. But when they are apart from each other, they saying, I don't know if this person really likes me like that. I don't know. Very confusing. Next. So Bryce wants to pull Kato for a chat, and he lets Zach know this. And Zach appears to feel a type of way, but Zach also doesn't appear to have any interest in anybody else in the villa. Too bad. I mean, that's his problem. But anyway, next. So let's move on to these recoupling predictions. I have a few that I think are going to recouple. Okay, so my recoupling predictions are Soul and Sincere, Kinsey and Caleb, Melanie and Corbin. And who I think may stay in a couple are Anaya and KC, Trinity and Bryce, and Zach and Kato. Now, when it comes to Gabriel, not sure who he will be coupled up with, but I know somebody is going to be on the chopping block. That's either going to be Jen or Bea. Okay, guys, so we have reached the end of this video. Thank you all for watching. I can't wait for the recoupling, and we'll be back at it. My point is, we have multiple side eyes for Sincere because you being weird. Y'all don't forget to interact in the comments, like, subscribe. See y'all.